just convinced me to sit Jacobs. Who should I play? I'm telling you this morning, I've had contacts inside the Giants locker room, and he was there getting treatment, and I thought that he's going to be good to go for 15-plus carries if he's good. Now, again, he told me that it's going to be all the way until 15 minutes before game time, Chris, that they'll end up making the decision. But right now, he's scheduled to start the game and scheduled to get the bulk of the carries. What's your assessment of that thing?
Yeah, he's definitely going to start, and he's going to definitely get some carries, but how much he's going to do for you? Maybe just like last week. Now, he might blow up and have a great first half, and that's good enough for you. I don't happen to have Jacobs. I do have Ward, though. That's why I'm playing Ward. I just have a feeling for some reason that the Giants, got a pretty good scare last week with Jacobs, and although they're still okay with Ward and Bradshaw, that they're going to definitely reduce his Jacobs' role a little bit. Doesn't mean you don't roll with him. It just means he's a little more iffy that, as far as the injury is concerned this week as compared to if he would be healthy.
Well, there you go. Well, listen, buddy, I appreciate you giving us the info, and you have a great, fantastic fantasy football Sunday, pal. Good luck.
You do the same. Good luck to everybody.
All right, that's Chris Coleman on Resident. We're going to go right back to the phone line from the 602 area code. You are on right here at Fantasy Grand Live with Paul, Tony, and we welcome back in Mr. Marky C. What's going on, buddy? Oh, he hung up, unfortunately. So let's go to 516. Let's go to 516 area code. What's going on? Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on today.
You got it, man. What's going on?
Okay, here's the thing. I have 4 guys I'm about to tell you. I can either start all 3 of the wide receivers or start 2 receivers and the back, and I want to let you let me know which one you think is the best.
Okay.
Okay. The guys are Brandon Marshall, Dwayne Bowe, Randy Moss, and the running back is Joseph Adai. And I could start 2 receivers and a back or 3 receivers.
All right, Marshall, Bowe, and you said who's the third wide receiver? I'm sorry.
Randy Moss.
Okay, and the running back was MJD?
No, Joseph Adai.
Oh, Joseph Adai. All right, so you could go with these 3 and 1 running back?
I get 2 of them and a running back or just all 3.
If it's me, I'm going to say me. I go Marshall Moss and Joseph Adai. If it's me, I like what Adai showed. I said last week he was one of my sleeper picks. I think this is the week that, again, last week to me was the first time it seemed like that entire Indianapolis Colts offense was clicking finally. We all know about the injuries to Peyton Manning prior to the season, so I think they're finally at mid-season play. So I go Marshall, Moss, and Adai. Even though the secondary, everyone's scared of the Oakland secondary, I think that's a bunch of baloney. I think they're going to go right at Marshall, get him involved early. So I go Marshall, Moss, and Adai. What about you, Tony?
I agree with you, definitely. But you know what? You've got some great receivers there. This is a great class, easy group to pick. And I agree with you, Paul. Oakland secondary is great, but Brandon Marshall will rise to the occasion today. He gets all fired up today.
There you go. What about you, Mark? What do you got?
I'm going to have to agree with you guys. I mean, you got to play Joseph Adai. When you have the opportunity to play a stud running back like that over a receiver who might get 5, 6 receptions, you go with him. At the wide receiver position, Brandon Marshall, he's the player to worry about a matchup. I know Nnamdi Asomugha, is a stud, but at the same time, what happens is the Raiders, they don't switch their cornerbacks on coverage, so there could be some opportunity for Marshall when he's not around, getting defended by Nnamdi. And Randy Moss, he's too good of a player to sit back and not play this week, especially since Miami is, suspect against the pass.
Well, there you go. I appreciate it. Thanks for giving us a call. Now we'll go right to the 602 area code. You're right here on Fantasy Grand Live. What's going on? Good morning.
Good morning. I listened to your injury report there. I've got a little problem here knowing whether or not to start Portis. I can either start him or Dunn.
I go with Dunn right off the bat. I like work done this week. I got him in my top 10 running backs again this week. Morris, to me, is not a guy that's going to, you know what, I don't think he scores as much fantasy points as work done. So I go work done. What about you, Mark? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I mean, it's better to play the guy who's healthy and going to get the significant carries in the morning game over sitting around and having to worry about Quinn Portis playing or not. And if he doesn't play, you have to, at the last minute pick up a Liddell Betts or a Sean Alexander or some second stringer. Go with the healthy back that should get you double-digit points this week.
There you go, buddy. I hope that helps clarify your contemplation of who to start.
Okay, can I ask you guys one more?
You know what? Absolutely. We're here for you. What's going on? Give it to us.
Well, I got a QB2 spot open, and I can either go with Rosenfels or Thigpen.
Ouch. I'll I'll turn it over to you there, Mr. Tony Sincato. What do you got? You got Big Pen? Or who was the other one? I'm sorry?
Sage Rosenfeld. Yeah. You know what? I like both as a QB, too, but I'm going to go with Sage Rosenfeld against this Cleveland defense. Just check the weather out before the game. Make sure we don't have snowing or rain or wind or anything like that. In a fair weather environment, I'm going with Sage Rosenfeld. Andre Johnson gets back involved. Kevin Walter there. I just like exploiting that Cleveland defense.
There you go, buddy. I hope that helps you out. Any other questions?
Thanks a lot. I appreciate your help.
Hey, no problem. Anytime. Appreciate you giving us a call. Have a fantastic fantasy football Sunday. We're going to go right back to the phone lines, guys. From the 352 area code, you are on Fantasy Grand Live with Paul, Tony, and Marky C.
Hey, guys. Great show. How you doing?
Good, man. What's going on? Give it to us. What you got?
Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning?
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Nice problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
I'll tell you what, I have Aaron Rodgers right now at number 2, and I have Peyton Manning at number 6. So I'm going to have to go with my rankings and say Aaron Rodgers over Peyton Manning. It may be hard, but when I take a look at the numbers, I got 262 yards for Rodgers. Peyton, I have about 250. I have 2 touchdowns for Rodgers, and I have about 1.5, which means it can go either way. So I'm going with my big board here, and I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. What about you, Mark?
I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. I think Peyton is the guy. In my opinion,
you guys are a bunch of homers, man. You're always going with the freaking names, man. Let's take a look at some numbers. What do you got for numbers, Marky? Give me numbers.
I got Peyton Manning hitting right around 300 yards and 3 passing touchdowns this week. 24 fantasy points. Take on the Chargers. They're giving up 267 yards per game, 27 completions, wide receiver and tight end. I can't go against Peyton Manning, especially against a bad San Diego Packers defense.
Oh, man, you hurt me. Okay, what do you got over there, Tony? What you got? You're the tiebreaker.
Definitely. You know what? I hate to go against Paul, but I'm going to go with Manning in this one. We talked about the San Diego secondary. I think you're looking at 3 touchdowns in this game for Peyton Manning at 300 yards.
Hey, before I let you go, caller, what's your name? Because after this weekend, when you have to call back next week and say that I was right, I just want to have your name. What's your name?
Matt.
Matt. All right, Matt. They're saying Peyton Manning. I'm telling you Aaron Rodgers, but it's all good. So it's all around the same thing. We wish you nothing but the best of luck this week, buddy.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks a lot. Phone lines are blowing up. Let's get right to it. 732 area code. Welcome to Fantasy Grand Live right here on Blog Talk Radio's Fantasy Sports Channel. What's your question?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
God, doing great, man. What's going on?
I've got Brandon Jacobs, Steve Slayton, and Pierre Thomas, and I was wondering, even if Jacobs starts, if they get up, I could see them pulling Jacobs and just letting them go with the dual backs. You think Pierre Thomas, if Reggie Bush is a better start?
Reggie Bush is out. I'll tell you this. You know what? The way that the Arizona Cardinals put up points, I think this is going to be a little bit closer game than maybe some may think. I think Jacobs should be a big part. Again, if he goes, the thing that you have going for you is that, the Pierre Thomas, again, I'm not sure how your league is set up, but if you hear right before the game time that Jacobs is not going to go, then you can plug in Thomas because they got the late game. So, take a look at that situation. But right now, Steve Slayton's a definite, and I like Brandon Jacobs over Pierre Thomas. Again, keep listening to the reports and see what's actually going to happen with Brandon Jacobs. What do you think there, Tony?